They say when your spiritual awakening begins, your eyes don't just open, they evolve. You stop seeing life the way you used to. Suddenly, you can sense energy. You can feel when something is off, even if everything looks perfect on the surface. That's the beginning of spiritual discernment, the hidden power of higher consciousness that allows you to see truth through silence. The problem is, most people confuse intuition with emotion. They react to fear, desire, or attachment and call it a sign. But spiritual discernment doesn't come from panic. It comes from peace. It's not the loud voice telling you to run. It's the quiet knowing that says, wait. The chosen ones develop this skill through experience, not theory. It's the ability to feel truth without needing proof. Think about it. How many times have you ignored your gut feeling only to realize later it was right? That's not luck or coincidence. That's your inner wisdom trying to guide you toward alignment. When you're spiritually asleep, you chase answers outside of yourself. But once you awaken, you start trusting that inner voice that can sense energy faster than logic ever could. That's the shift from reaction to awareness, from guessing to knowing. Spiritual discernment often starts with discomfort. You begin noticing things others overlook. You can sense when someone's words don't match their energy. You feel drained around certain people for no reason. You see patterns in situations that repeat until you finally learn the lesson. It's like having emotional X-ray vision, not to judge but to protect your peace. The more you trust it, the sharper it becomes. But here's the tricky part. Discernment requires stillness. If your mind is chaotic, you can't tell what's intuition and what's impulse. That's why spiritually strong people spend time alone. Solitude becomes their training ground. They listen to silence until they can separate inner truth from external noise. Most people can't recognize guidance because they never stop talking long enough to hear it. Discernment isn't built in noise. It's born in quiet observation. Once you develop it, life feels different. You stop getting trapped in drama because you sense the vibration behind words. You know when something doesn't sit right, even if you can't explain it yet. That feeling in your stomach, that hesitation before saying yes, that's your higher consciousness sending you a signal. The more you honor it, the more accurate it becomes. Discernment is like spiritual muscle. It grows stronger every time you use it. You'll notice something else. Discernment also reveals your own patterns. It's not just about reading others. It's about reading yourself. You start catching your own triggers before they control you. You notice when your ego wants attention, or when your emotions try to make decisions for you. That self-awareness is what separates wisdom from impulse. The awakened mind doesn't just see truth outside. It recognizes truth within. Many people mistake empathy for discernment. Empathy feels others' pain, but discernment sees its source. Empathy can make you absorb everything. Discernment helps you filter what's not yours. You can love someone deeply and still say, "This energy isn't right for me." That's not coldness, that's clarity. The more awakened you become, the less you confuse kindness with self-sacrifice. Discernment doesn't mean you walk around suspicious of everyone. It means you've learned to read vibration, not words. You no longer believe every apology, every promise, or every smiling face. You feel intention before it's revealed. It's like tuning into a frequency that others can't hear. You just know when something is real and when something's off. And that knowing keeps you aligned with your higher path. And yes, sometimes discernment will make you feel misunderstood. Because when you see things others don't, you can't explain it logically. You just feel it. You'll walk away from situations everyone else calls perfect, and they'll think you're overreacting. But your spirit knows something they don't. The spiritually awakened don't need to justify their peace. They just protect it. The more your consciousness expands, the more subtle your discernment becomes. You stop labeling everything as good or bad. Instead, you start seeing everything as energy, either aligned or misaligned. You stop forcing connections and start observing flow. If it feels forced, you release it. If it flows effortlessly, you trust it. That's how the chosen ones move, not through logic but through energetic clarity. But here's the beauty of it all. Discernment isn't meant to isolate you. It's meant to elevate you. It teaches you to love smarter, to choose calmer, and to live with deeper awareness. You no longer chase validation, you attract resonance. You don't fight for attention, you align with peace. Spiritual discernment turns chaos into understanding and confusion into confidence. And once you master it, your world changes. You start walking away from things that no longer serve your vibration. not out of pride, but out of preservation. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That's when you shift from emotional reaction to conscious evolution. That's when life begins to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned. You'll know you've developed spiritual discernment when silence feels more powerful than explanations, when energy speaks louder than words, and when peace becomes your default response instead of anxiety. That's when you realize discernment isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting that you already do. If this connected with you, thank you for watching until the end. Like and subscribe, not out of habit, but because something in you just awakened a little more. Keep trusting your intuition, keep growing in awareness, and remember, real wisdom doesn't chase noise. It listens to truth in the quiet.